When you're hungry, you go for yummy, delicious food. You want yummy, delicious food. But to get yummy, delicious food to eat, you need to have the ability as well. And that's right. Roll that intro.
Welcome, the Gamer Man's Lounge. Awaken to play.
Hopefully things are going well for you guys. As for me, welcome to the Gamer Man's Lounge. And today we're going to be talking about food and cooking. And let's go ahead and elaborate further. Now, I'm beginning to realize how limited we are in activities, whether indoor, outdoor, and in the comfort of our own home. So, yeah, even in the comfort of our own home, and even on our free time, doesn't necessarily mean we're going to be getting to do what we even need. And that's the giant problem here. Being in our own kitchen is absolutely more dangerous than ever in today's day and age. And I also forgot to start off by saying, especially considering the fact that, we have to be careful with everything we do, even in the comfort of our own home, like I said. So the question here is, how do I go about our meal plans? And that's the situation. How do we go about our meal plans? And that reminds me, my pasta is done. Yes, I have been experimenting with alternative ways of cooking our meals. And that's the thing. When it comes to this experiment, we might be able to make the meals that we were never able to do because a lot of the meals to be made require you to be on stovetop. And of course, stovetop cooking is very more limited than ever. We can't do that a lot. And when it comes to stovetop cooking, it requires full attention to make sure, especially for best results. But we'll be at most letting our guard down. And that's the situation here. We want to use other cooking methods that would give us hands-free time to look around us and then check back on our food. And that's the question. How can we do things a different way in terms of cooking? And that is essentially why. And, of course, give me some time to drain the pasta real quick, but I will talk to you while I'm doing that. However, now when it comes to our grocery shopping, we have to not take too long. Make sure we need to keep our grocery trips under an hour, and we have to get plenty of groceries to last us a huge while. Especially, and we can't do frequent trips, because what I'm trying to say why is because, well, the outside world is more hostile than ever. We are dealing with escalated tensions more worse than ever, especially given this current year this video is being made, being 2024, for example. Not going to go into detail, but yeah. But however, if you're coming home with a car full of groceries, that means, well, this is stuff you have to assemble together on stovetop to form a recipe. And that's the problem. We're beginning to lose that ability to do that. And like I said again, being in our own kitchen is more dangerous than ever because we're going to be at most letting our guard down. And if you let your guard down, it could spell disaster. And when you're cooking food in your own kitchen, you will be unleashing food-related scents. And the sense of food will eventually leak out of your house. You're going to have to leak it out of your house. And eventually, what if the wrong people got a hold of the sense that it's coming from your kitchen? And that's the biggest question around here. This is why I got inventive. If you see here, this is a microwave pasta maker known as the Fasta Pasta. Hopefully I said that right. But the Fasta Pasta boils your pasta in the microwave to al dente. Well, you go ahead and put this lid on. After, microwave with the lid off, please. Put the lid on, you drain, and you're good. You get al dente pasta. This is where we can go ahead and move on over to the sauce. Okay, the pasta, done, al dente, okay. Here's where we pull out our pasta sauce. Sun-dried tomato Alfredo. Been wanting to try that. Been wanting to get the chance to try that, so here we go. And getting ready to pour some of that real quick. Time to mix our, oh, well, some of them. Hold on, allow me to do this off camera. Okay, there's a little trick when it comes to pasta sauces, so I could get most sauce out of the jar when I'm extracting the whole jar. Cover the lid. This is where the pasta soaks up the remaining, some of the remaining sauce, or most of the remaining sauce. I shake it up. Now, as you can see here, the pasta has already gotten a hold of the remaining sauce here. And yeah, do it how much you like, okay? So what I do, grab a spoon of the unsauced pasta to make it kind of more easier. That step I highly recommend you do. You go ahead, I put the lid on, shake it, and I can see some of the sauce absorbed. And yeah, I think it's already, I need to wipe my hands with something. There we go, and dealt with. Yeah, I accidentally got some of the pasta sauce on the record button. And with that out the way, so yeah. Let me go ahead and stir real quick. And I think we're going to be in the good. Yeah. We got some of the pasta and... By the way, I'm doing this off camera. Okay, I got the pasta stirred up with the sauce as much as I can. However, to be on the safe side, to make sure... I know the pasta is going to be already hot. It's going to heat up the sauce and whatnot, but... I prefer my meal hotter. Like we like our waifus. So, we go ahead. Put it in for an additional 2 minutes at least. You don't have to do that, but if you want to, do that. Oh. Heck, somebody left their McDonald's bag. Oh, that's up. Someone left 2 burgers. Interesting. Oh, and make sure you set some money aside, because there's going to be times where you might as well just, you know, order out. Now, back to the topic, and speaking of, the video topic in a nutshell is essentially the lounge, walking you through alternatives of cooking food, not all of them, but some of them that the lounge has been experimenting on from left and right, which is going to play a huge role in other videos, especially experimental cooking videos that will be taking over when it comes to our cooking segments. Basically, we're looking for something that will cook your meals quicker, or give you windows of time where your hands are free so you can set timers, basically check around your house, and then until you decide to basically then go ahead and check on your food, repeat until, okay, food's done. Simple. Or both offer you hands-free window and cook your meals quicker. Here, we start with the 2 obvious ones. Starting with the oven. It is way just as more commonly used compared to pan frying or pan and pot cooking on stovetop. However, when it comes to the oven, it does require a lot of patience, more on that in a bit, but however, it is essentially a more effective and, let's say, a more cleaner solution compared to, we'll talk about it later. But however, it's been more commonly used when it comes to cooking turkeys for Thanksgiving on the safe side, rather than deep frying your turkeys. Though if you mess up on, or if you make a slip up, it could end in disaster, where if you go cook it in the oven, you don't have to worry about making a slip up that could pretty much cause a house fire. However, you don't see me or my family deep frying a turkey. You probably see us cooking turkeys in an oven. So, it's not just turkeys, pizzas, baking cookies. Ah, that's right, an alternate way of cooking steaks. Hell, I even cooked meatballs through oven. That's right. However, that's the thing. When it comes to oven cooking, you do have hands-free window, meaning you can pretty much set your hands free for a window of time, where you can set your timers and do your usual until you check on your food, and then repeat till it's done, yada yada yada. I think we already get it at the very beginning. I think earlier in the video. Okay, but here's the catch. It's going to cook your food quite longer, and it's going to require your patience. The DiGiorno pizza that I had to bake in the oven, because, well, my burrito making skills did not do well for me today. And, yeah, I decided to just go for a pizza for tonight, since it's a Friday night anyway. However, you will have to wait 17 minutes, not including the time you have to wait for your oven to preheat. So you have to wait for your oven to preheat. Okay, if it's done preheating, okay, you're good to go. Put your food in and wait a long time until that. But you do get hands-free window. Another highly common method is essentially the microwave. It's way more quicker than the oven, but you really have to be careful. Otherwise, when you're cooking certain meals, like soups or raviolis or, yeah, something that comes with sauce or broths, it could be messier. However, you can essentially solve your problem by getting a hold of paper towels or parchment paper. But however, if you're going to be covering a bowl, make sure you poke holes onto the parchment paper or paper towels that you're going to be using. Or you know what, actually, I recommend you use paper towels. To be honest with you here, just use paper towels. Yeah, use paper towels. I recommend that. But however, back to the conversation at hand, it's pretty much way more common. It's more common to find foods with microwave instructions, and that is the thing. And of course, when it comes to meals that don't come with microwave instructions, there is gadgets like the Fasta Pasta. It is like those little microwave pasta makers, which I just showed you earlier in the video. But it's also, for example, a rapid ramen maker. That's right. When it comes to using the rapid ramen maker, it takes stovetop ramen and pretty much walks you through the process of cooking stovetop ramen through microwave. So that's impressive. And that's the thing when it comes to microwave. There's going to be microwave gadgets that are going to cook meals that you would be expecting to be cooking on stovetop, but nope. You can cook it in the microwave. That is if the product works, so be careful. Out of the 2 gadgets that I found that absolutely worked, well, I actually make that 3 because I can remember back to the good old days when I got my hands on a rapid brownie maker that makes brownies in the microwave. It did wonders for me. But the only 2 that I have right now that is confirmed to definitely work are the microwave pasta makers and the rapid ramen makers. So make sure to do that. So this is where I go ahead and put that in the bowl, take the packet out. Oh hey, I have water nearby. And fill up to a certain fill line. And here we go. Also recommended, make sure you flip your ramen. Make sure both sides of the freeze-dried block of ramen is equally wet. Something that I absolutely recommend. Now, I go ahead, put in the microwave for 3 to 5 minutes. I'm going to go for 3 minutes. And here we go. When it's done, just pour in the packet and you're good. Another cooking solution that I advise you check out is essentially going to be, well, the George Foreman grills or your Panini Press or press grills in a nutshell. Indoor, outdoor, whatever. They have plates from top to bottom. I reviewed one of them. It was a George Foreman press grill that came with a drip tray that collects grease that would drip into the drip tray. So yeah. Essentially what these press grills, like your George Foreman or any other things do, it's like it cooks meats and it essentially cooks stuff Or you could say, seal your burrito toasty. Yeah, make your burrito toasty and sealed more. Okay? However, it shortens the time since simultaneously both sides are basically being cooked, while offering a window hands-free where you can go around and check real quick until you go ahead and check on your food, and then go ahead and repeat until the food is then done. Something like that. So, yeah, hands-free window, quicker cooking, and however, it's more effective for meats, grilled cheese sandwiches, and yes, I cooked wings using the George Foreman. So yes, just be careful with the drums and the wings, okay? Just be careful, okay? Remember to bring a meat thermometer with you, and of course, make sure. However, if you want to go ahead and make sure the wings are blending in well with or the sauce blends in well enough with the wings, I should have went with that versa. Okay? So you can go ahead and, you don't have to do it, you can microwave for a couple of minutes. However, that's something that I would like to do in the safe side. However, just be careful and be mindful if you're using a George Foreman with a drip tray. Otherwise, if you're not careful, you could be dealing with unevenly cooked wings, or worse, having your chicken dry. A solution that's been blowing up in today's day and age is essentially air frying. When it comes to air fryers, they offer hands-free window, they also offer shorter cooking times, and yeah, it offers a less oil experience. And what I mean by that is that you're going to be still expected to be coating your food in oil and coating the pan in oil when it comes to foods like wings, fried chicken nuggets, fried chicken strips, fried chicken patties, fried chicken. So you're still going to be using oils, whether it being vegetable, canola, peanut, whatever. But however, if you want to minimize mess, you could use parchment paper. By the way, be careful depending on the air fryer design. Or you can use aluminum foil, just like I have been using when it comes to that. However, aluminum foil and parchment paper should serve no problems as long as you're very careful. So, something to keep in mind about. Okay. However, unlike your press grills, your ovens, unless your oven has one, which if it has one, hip hip hooray. However, I already just talked about the microwaves. Microwaves have a self-shut-off timer, but so does your air fryer. Air fryers have a self-shut-off timer. And when it comes to, air fryers, we notice both air fryer designs. Out of all the air fryer designs I have encountered, of course, they have a self-shut-off timer. By the way, if you happen to have an oven with a self-shut-off timer, good for you. Figure out how to get it working and get the hang of getting it working, okay? Make use of it. Trust me. Okay, now speaking of self-shut-off timers when it comes to appliances, let's talk about the toaster oven. That's right. Toasters or toaster ovens, however, I've been at most using the toaster oven. When it comes to the toaster oven, it is essential, some toaster ovens can be a toaster oven by itself, or it can be both that or an air fryer at the same time. So yeah, something you might want to keep in mind about. However, you do have some, yes, it does come equipped with some air frying, it does have something like that, but toaster ovens are very much, yes, you can expect, it's not going to half the cooking times compared to ovens. Okay, not really, but it's going to shorten the time compared to ovens, which is something you might find interesting. However, if you're alternately baking cookies, I would suggest moving it into something lower and more away from the heat source, and probably consider using parchment paper rather than foil. So if you're planning on cooking cookies on your toaster oven. Please keep in mind that. However, going back on to the cooking times of toaster ovens. However, whether it's gonna actually happen, unlike what I claimed previously, or it could shorten the time, but however, it's not going to essentially gonna make it quicker comparable to a microwave. Okay, like I said, this depends on the food you're cooking. It depends on what you're cooking in your toaster oven. So with that totally said, I'm not saying it's no quicker compared to oven cooking, but toaster ovens can be very quicker compared to that. So, oh yes, and another appliance that I've been putting to use are essentially egg boilers. Especially when it comes to egg boilers that come with additional accessories, including a measuring cup when it comes to, well, how you're planning on cooking the eggs, or how many eggs you're cooking, or what eggs you're expecting, being soft, medium, or hard, whatever the case that may be. But however, the egg boiler that I ended up getting a hold of not just came with an egg boiler, but it came with other accessories, including a measuring cup that has the instructions printed on it. Well, part of the instructions printed on it, okay? However, something to keep in mind about, because of the additional accessories, this allows me to essentially make more than boiled eggs. Omelets, you could even make sunny side up eggs, but you're not going to be expecting fried results. You could even steam your vegetables or boil cook meals. Actually, as a matter of fact, I remember boil cooking gyoza. That's right. I ended up cooking gyoza in this, though there is a catch to it. Okay, egg boilers are going to be pretty much like this size. This size. Yeah, like this size. So something to keep in mind a bit. So I could only do that in batches. But however, I did try out one batch of gyoza in the egg boiler, and yeah, it did the job well. So not only does it do a good job at boiling your eggs, depending on whether you want it hard, soft, or medium. Hell, even when it comes to ramen eggs, like soft boiled eggs for ramen, I got the best results. Okay. But when it came to gyoza, it did a good job cooking the gyoza very well. I was shocked, to say the least. Though I do expect to cook in small batches, considering its size. So, something you might want to consider keeping in mind about. Yes, these solutions that I just brought up will cook your meals quicker. Well, we just talked about the oven. And they give you a window hands-free, and they don't essentially involve cooking on pan and pot on stovetop, which something you're not going to be able to do in today's day and age anymore. And if so, you're able to do that way lesser than ever. But with that totally said, I think I already addressed everything. But at least I did make some time for a video game recommendation.
The Lounge recommends you check out Medieval. This retro-style FPS is like when Quake and Heretic fused together. This indie hit goes out of its own way to deliver insane presentation that will run well with mostly all current PC builds. This game is optimized well on PC, and even the ray tracing enabled doesn't seem to hurt performance. It's very interesting. You will be traveling through massively and beautifully crafted levels, fighting off hordes of enemies, finding secret areas, and facing off big boss battles and vanquishing evil. It has an expansion, The Black Labyrinth, a standalone VR edition, and also it's been updated with the Horde mode. So check out Medieval on PC via Steam or GOG.com.
I figured I'd go ahead and get this video off my chest because, one, I had to go ahead and pick up the pace after catching the flu. That's right, I was congested, dealing with a runny nose. I had to deal with a sore throat. I had to go and fight off a fever, and it was rough, okay? So it's not worse, at least it was the flu, okay? And my diets had to be ramen. That could have been a quality burp. What's wrong with me? But also, I figured this is how we're going to basically go about cooking videos in the future of the Lounge. So with that totally said, That is all, and I will be looking forward to you in the next video. Peace out. Sorry, no quality burp right here.